Welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. Today, I want to take a look at what has been going on in the market with some recent token launches, as well as my opinion on the current NFT market. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. Be sure to always do your own research before buying or selling anything. So one of the biggest, most anticipated gaming tokens has finally come to the market, and that is MON from MON Protocol, or Pixelmon. And it is currently sitting just under a $450 million fully diluted market cap at roughly 45 cents. Now, is this a good or a bad thing for their launch? That really depends on the angle you're looking at it from, because launching a token at 450 is really impressive. However, I know a lot of us, myself included, had way higher expectations, and I am seeing a lot of complaints on crypto Twitter. So we're going to quickly look at two different things. The first one is the community presale. Was it a successful presale if you invested? I know a lot of people are comparing it to meme land, which is currently at a $2 billion FDV for meme coin, which if you invested in this presale, which I did, you were able to get in at 69 million FDV, which is almost a 30x return on your investment. Super impressive. These are the kinds of returns everybody is looking for. Whereas if you did the presale for MON, you got in at 103 million FDV. It's currently sitting at 450. It did manage to hit 500 mil a couple of times. So let's just call it 500 mil. I do strongly believe we are going to go way higher than 500 mil. If you did manage to sell there, you hit a 5x. And that's great because your initial unlock on day one is 20%, meaning you need a 5x to be able to sell and break even on day one. You pulled out the entirety of your investment on day one, and the 80% of tokens that are vested are pure profit. So you have zero risk left in this investment, and you're able to go redeploy that initial that you put in like a couple months ago. So even though this wasn't on the same level as something like meme land, I still view this as a successful community presale, and I don't think people should be complaining about it because they just 5x your money. And I personally believe it's going to go much higher from there as we go into the bull run. Remember, this is vested for up to 30 months. Now, where I do understand some of the frustrations is with the airdrop for the NFT holders. And as you can see, there has been a drop off in the price of NFTs. Whereas before the weekend, we were sitting at like 1.35 ETH, which is roughly $5,000 or a little bit higher. And we are currently at 0.73, which is around $3,000. So if you bought in, you just took a $2,000 plus haircut, and the MON token airdrop you would have gotten on day one is only roughly worth $1,000. So you did take over a $1,000 loss. So what happened? Well, if we jump to my video that I filmed last week on Pixelmon, I did discuss what my expectations were, and I was hoping to get, for a common floor NFT with no relics, I was hoping to get 13,000 tokens. But what commons without relics ended up getting was around 10,800. So already you lost 2,200 tokens from my expectations. I know a lot of people thought you were going to get 15,000 tokens, so even more there. And that ends up being a lot of money, right? At current prices, with my expectations, that's over $1,000 that you missed out on in value for your NFTs. And then you combine that with the market's expectations of their FDV. Personally, I was hoping for between 700 and 1 billion. Over 1 billion would have been amazing. But as we now know, we only managed to hit a little bit over 500. At one point, it was like 340. So when you combine those two together, you end up getting a pretty big drop in the floor price, which of course is never fun. So what now? Well, when it comes to my tokens, I personally full staked mine. This is just one of my wallets that had one presale on it and one NFT. I full staked across all my wallets, and I do plan on leaving this money in, at least for now, accumulating points and getting those token airdrops, because they do have over 60 partners. Many of them are going to be dropping their upcoming tokens to MON stakers, and they have a ton of other stuff planned for their community. So I have very high hopes for the MON token, and staking was just an easy decision for me to make. As for the NFTs, luckily I did sell 50% of my bag before the dump happened this weekend. So at around like 1.3, 1.35, just because I was considering, I did the investment. I had, over 10 pre-sale spots. I have 8 NFTs. I have a ton of exposure here. And if it doesn't work out how I'm hoping it works out, I didn't want to take that hit. So I did reduce my risk and sold 50% of my bag. Now at the current floor, I still had half of my NFTs left, which they're worth roughly $3,000. However, they're worth in MON tokens around $3,700 at current prices. And if we look at captains, which do operate similarly with the token unlocks, we have a ton more price history on captains. So we have a lot more data to work with, and they are priced at roughly 60% of their value in meme coin, whereas Pixelmon is priced right now at roughly 80%. So just looking at those figures, it does feel like Pixelmon is still overvalued. Now, do I think they're going to go down? If the token doesn't pump in the near future and it stays at current prices or even goes down, yes, I do expect the Pixelmon NFTs to continue losing value. However, I think one of the reasons they are currently holding above 0.7 is across the board, everyone seems to have conviction that this price is way too low and that the MON token is going to see a lot of upside here. And one of the reasons why that makes me bullish is pretty much every gaming token that has launched, people are just selling it. People are posting about their successful investment, but they're just posting because they have to. It's part of their deal of investing. They have to make a post on TGE and then they're dumping. Nobody is saying I am buying into this token. Whereas for MON, I'm seeing on Twitter, I'm seeing in Discords, everybody is discussing how they're buying into the token and getting a position. So this makes me really bullish because it shows you people want to get into the token, and I happen to agree with them. So I took that gamble, and what I did was I sold my NFTs at a loss and I put that money into the MON token with a price target of between 70 and 80 cents, which from where I bought in would be almost 2x if we hit 80 cents versus I don't expect the NFTs. Let's say we do go to 80 cents, the NFTs aren't going to 2x in my opinion, right? That would be higher than where they were at before the weekend, before this crash happened. That would be at 1.5 ETH. And even though my short to midterm price target is roughly 80 cents, I do expect this token to be a multi-billion-dollar token as we push through the upcoming gaming bull run. Now, unfortunately, for other gaming tokens, Pixelmon did not restore the market's confidence into upcoming gaming launches. So I do expect sentiments to continue to be down for these upcoming tokens for the next few weeks. And I spoke with many gaming founders. They were all looking to Pixelmon to see how it's going to perform and hoping that it's going to re-spark the market, right? Especially since it's been a while since we've seen a solid win. One of the most recent gaming tokens that launched, it looks like a cool game, right? It's basically Overwatch with cats. A lot of people like it, but the token itself, the Neon token for Neon Heroes, has been a down-only adventure. If you bought in on the secondary market, you are currently most likely at a loss unless you picked it up, today right here. And if you did the investment like I did, the best time to sell, because we couldn't sell right here because the claim wasn't working, was right here at around 36 cents. And if you didn't sell like me, you've pretty much just been watching the value of your token go down. So this is another thing I'm seeing a lot of people complain about when they're not able to sell the initial airdrop that they receive on day one to break even on their investment. A ton of people have been complaining about this, and I'm seeing the other side of the argument being made on Twitter, which is you want your token to start low enough so people can buy in on the secondary market and see some upside, which I totally understand. It's the same thing for NFTs. When there's a whitelist, you want the price to not be so high that people who buy in on the secondary market, they see upside, right? They see that flip potential and they're able to get some money. They're able to get a win. They bull post and they don't just feel like exit liquidity. And this is something I do expect to happen for MON, where people who are buying in right now, which like I said, I bought in, not financial advice, but I think they are going to be in profits. I do expect this token to perform well. But if that's the case, why even buy into an NFT that's going to give you, partial tokens on day one and the rest is locked up for 2 years? Why do these pre-sale rounds where you get 5% on day one, it doesn't cover your investment, then you have a 6-month cliff, and then you have 2 years of vesting? Why not just buy the token on the secondary market? And I understand I'm not getting as low of an entry price. So my multiple on my investments not going to be as high, but who knows where the market's going to be in 2.5 years. At least when I buy in on the secondary market, I control 100% of my money and I could decide to sell whenever I want. And the other thing I think a lot of people are really starting to consider as we're seeing the market pump, we're seeing ETH go up, we're seeing meme coins go up like crazy, is that opportunity cost that they're missing out on because they bought some of these NFTs, because they invested into a ton of pre-sale rounds, and all of these projects are delaying their launches. So everybody locked up a lot of their liquidity into these projects. They're just not launching, and everybody's just watching the market pump, and they don't have as much exposure as they'd like to the market. So you really have to consider the opportunity cost when you invest into some of these projects, as opposed to just asking yourself, okay, how many multiples do I think this is going to do? You have to ask, when is it going to launch? Am I willing to wait 5-6 months for this token to launch, and then after that wait another 12 months before I see some really good money out of it? But the next NFT related collection that everybody is waiting to launch is of course Mocaverse, which is going to be an interesting one because they did raise at 350 million FDV, which is quite high. Of course, this is Animoca, so most people are expecting this to be a $1 billion token, a multi-billion dollar token. And looking at the NFTs, they are quite high, currently at 3.7. They have gone up to over 4 ETH, so it is going to be very interesting to see what kind of drop off these have after the initial claim of the Mocha token. And I don't have any exposure to this project. I didn't do the pre-sale, I didn't do the investment round, and I don't hold any NFTs, so I don't have any skin in the game here. I just find this stuff interesting to look at because it hasn't seemed to have worked out since Memeland. I'm trying to think what's the late, I guess My Pet Hooligan is the last project with an NFT airdrop that performed well. And this is a token that I got the airdrop for. It is one that I hold. Of course, after it launched, it went above $1. That was a great selling point in hindsight. It went all the way down to 45 cents. And it looked like it was joining the ranks of all the other tokens that launch and just go straight down. However, with the recent announcements of them meeting with OpenAI, them partnering with NVIDIA, and all of the AI stuff that they're showing they're really ahead of a lot of other projects. The token has completely shot back up, making its way all the way past 90 cents before having this recent retracement. And I actually finally took profits after we went back over 90 cents because I should have taken profits on the first day. I think I've realized when you hold an NFT for so long and you finally get a liquidity event, you finally get an airdrop or whatever it is, I think it's good to take profits just for that little dopamine hit. You actually get some money out of the project and you don't just continue holding for another year or two. So I did take some profits. However, I do still have a lot of exposure to the Karrat token, and this is one of the teams that I absolutely love and I have a ton of conviction on. But overall, when it comes to investing in future gaming tokens, I'm getting a ton of games across my desk, many of them with super high FDVs. They have really long vesting periods. I am just saying no to absolutely all of them because I don't feel the market has an appetite for these kind of projects right now, and I'm just taking all the risk, right? Especially with these valuations, which is one of the reasons why I love Seedify so much, which I am an ambassador for. But I love that you don't have to lock up your money for months at a time with the way their sales work, and their pre-sales often have very favorable terms for investors, especially compared to all these other projects that have like 6-month cliff and then 2 years of vesting. If we look at one of their latest launches, which was Elixir, which is a game launcher that's venturing into game incubation as well as their own gaming launchpad. This is a project that I've mentioned in the past. Their NFT did well. It was a free mint, and I'm also bullish on their token. But if we look at the terms that they are launching on Seedify, so they're launching at 5 cents. However, the terms right here, you could see 15% at TGE, 1 week cliff, not 1 month, 1 week cliff, followed by 3 months of daily unlocks. But the best part of all is the unconditional refund for 7 days, meaning if you invest in this in the public round and you don't touch your tokens, you don't claim them, you don't trade them, if you aren't happy with the multiple on your investment, if it's only like a 3x and it's 15%, so you need more like a 7x to break even on day one, if it's only a 3x and you're not happy with it, you can get 100% of your money back. So they essentially take the risk out of the equation. And the great thing is they're not just doing gaming projects, they're doing everything from Bitcoin. They're doing all the big narratives. They have an upcoming RWA projects. They're doing gaming, of course. They have AI projects, with the next one being Skillful AI. So I continue to be very bullish on Seedify. It is my launch pad of choice, and it's one of the main reasons that I chose to partner with them. Now, as for the NFT market, unfortunately, there isn't currently a clear meta that I can see. Of course, the gaming stuff, I believe, is going to continue to perform well. It's the main type of project that when I'm approached by all these NFT projects, the gaming ones are the ones that do interest me. But the attention is really on crypto, right? On tokens, especially with the meme coin runs that we've had lately. And now with like all these celebrities launching pump and dumps, nobody's going to care about your NFT project because they're all paying attention to what the next 100x meme coin is. And this is very much an attention economy. And unfortunately, the attention isn't on NFTs, especially NFTs on the secondary market. I get asked all the time, like, what collection should I buy? What collection do you have conviction in? And my answer is always none. I would buy an altcoin or a meme coin because it's way clearer to see the upside. There's way more liquidity, and you aren't just praying that one, the team doesn't mess up, but two, that the team just does something. Now, I know with the whole ETH ETF approval, a lot of people are hoping that money trickles in to ETH NFTs. I don't see that happening until people feel very, very rich. And for that to happen, we do need to have a very strong crypto run, where I do see a lot of these ETH related tokens pumping, and even ETH itself. I'm looking for ETH to make its way above $4,000 and then make its way above its previous all-time high. But I'm really not adding any new NFTs to my portfolio unless I see a catalyst that is going to boost the price in the short term. Now, even though NFTs are sucking right now, it doesn't mean there isn't opportunity. There's a ton of whitelists that you can go get. I created a video on May 14th that covered 10 different projects that have whitelists that you can go get. None of them have minted, so every single one has an opportunity. The one that I am most bullish on is unfortunately not an NFT. It's actually a meme coin, but there is a whitelist, and that one is Borpa. It is the one I expect to perform the best, and the mint for that is going to be happening in early June, with the token itself launching in mid-June. So I will try to work on an upcoming NFT video for you guys in the near future, especially with the free project. There's a few new ones that have popped up on my radar. However, you know, I'm here to make money too. So when the focus is on crypto and tokens and meme coins, that's also where I want to put my focus. But I will try to hit you guys with a video in the future. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching the Crypto Gorilla. Peace.